Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another edition of the Dumpster Fire. What is this? Our 9,000th show where we have not
8,999 too long.
Right, where we've not put together a decent show. I think that's the longest streak in the history of content creation.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have a special guest. He had to run to the bathroom as soon as we went live. He has no idea that we went live without him.
Well, maybe we should interview the chair. So
yes, that is
never mind.
staple of the show. Oh man, look at that athleticism diving into the chair.
360 no scopes to the chair.
I tried to do my best Chris Collinsworth. You know, his little slide in.
Yeah, he's like
Now here's a guy.
Now. All right, we got former minor league baseball player, Twitch streamer extraordinaire, Frank Thomas. Everyone, welcome to the show. We're glad that you are here.
Thanks for having me
with us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into the premise of the show.
All right. My name is Jeremy Barfield. If you know anything about baseball, that last name probably rings a bell. The answer is yes. I'm the Craig Griffey of my family, and I'm a lot better at fake baseball now than I was at real baseball. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Awesome. Can we put a link in the, are you what, twitch.tv? What is your?
FlankThomas.com. That is it. Nice and simple. Much appreciated.
.com. We'll put a link in the chat here. Boom. There it is. So everyone can find you. Go follow him. I met you on TikTok, and I was like, I hope this guy knows who I am. And apparently you used my Manscaped code.
Yes, I did. Lawnmower 4.0.
Nice.
I don't know if I have one around. Here we go. Yeah, I got one around here. They just send me these every freaking month. Like this is the purple one. This one will dick your clippers right here. This one. Look at that,
baby.
Ooh, that is nice.
Fancy.
I got it upside down.
Oh, it is nice.
Shave balls to save balls.
That's right. This is the one for testicular cancer.
Nice.
This one is like, because you gotta be like, fuck cancer. Bunch of bullshit.
Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer.
For sure.
All right. So what we are doing, we are ranking all the MLB fan bases. There are going to be some pissed off MLB fans tonight. There are going to be some angry Astros fans.
Yeah.
They're going to be down there on the bottom.
They've got a chip on their shoulder for years.
Yes. Yeah. But let's get some supers out of the way before we get into this. James Amadei says Eric and Jack Johnson, no relation, won the Stanley Cup. Let that sink in. Yep. Tree, you were so angry you had to change your
Well, I wasn't angry. It's just ironic. I mean, he got the bag from Jim Rutherford on a terrible 5-year contract that should have never been signed. Plus, he gets a cup out of it. So you know what? Hey.
The crazy thing is he was a Ranger for like 10 minutes, and then now he goes and wins the cup. Standard bullshit with the New York Rangers. Parker White says, welcome one and all to the Dumpster Fire, a wildly unpopular sportscast featuring a Yinzer and a ball that plateaued where it started. Yep.
How can you plateau when you weren't even good to begin with?
Thanks. That one guy said the only thing I learned about hockey from this cup was that I know nothing about hockey. Jeremy, do you watch hockey?
It's just
Jeremy, I do a little bit, man. I try to go see one Coyotes game a year, but I think that's everybody else, hence them being in limbo. I've been following it. My money, I didn't put any money down, but I was expecting the two-time defending champs to win. So,
yeah, Tree and I had a bet, and I said Avs in 6. He said,
all right, I got to get the banana.
Now you have to eat a banana and make eye contact with the entire audience. That was the bet.
Yep.
So you gotta
as I said, I need to get bananas for that. I'll do that next week.
Okay. It's got to be like an absolutely massive banana.
Yeah, oh, dude, don't worry. I'll get the biggest banana we've ever seen. Have you ever seen those like bananas from Donkey Kong Country? That little horse.
Yes.
I'm gonna get one of those.
It's got to be the Moby Huge banana. Do you know about Moby Huge? You know,
Dude, we might
you
even
watch
need
Critical?
to slip a plantain in there.
Yeah.
Plantain. I don't know if I can even find those where I am.
Ooh, have you ever eaten a raw plantain? Oh.
Unfortunately.
Ugh.
No.
I'll eat a fried plantain, but
Is it starchier than a raw banana?
It's
Yes.
yeah.
Jeez.
What is it? It's the it's like they eat it in the DR all the time. It's very starchy root. Oh my gosh.
Sugar cane?
It's not sweet or anything.
I know what you're
like
talking
potato.
about. I know what you're talking about. It's not a rutabaga.
Somebody's
gonna get it. Somebody's gonna get it. I lived in Panama. We would eat those all the time. Plank Thomas sent us a sticker, by the way. Thank you. Some guy named Plank Thomas.
Keep crushing it.
Can we put that on? Oh, it only says super. It doesn't
sticker.
show that logo is fire, right?
It's a nice logo.
Thanks, man.
Who designed that logo?
Dude,
Right.
it was one of those things to where I saw a logo that I really liked and I bought it.
Nice.
Real talk. I just straight up bought
Nice.
it. Yeah, I saw a logo that I really liked. I was looking for something that I wanted something that looked good on a hat after wearing, all these hats over the years. And you know how important branding is. So I saw a logo, I liked it, I bought it, I modified it, and here we are.
That is fire. Love
Yeah,
it. All right,
appreciate
let's share my screen here.
Yuka.
We'll get to the remaining super chats in a little bit. Here are the tier. We got to first figure out what the tiers are. That is always a fun exercise. So I guess you got to go best as the top.
Yeah, that's pretty easy for me, to be honest.
Right. Good. Right. Good
Okay,
is like not best fit, like good. Then we got like mid, or just average, right?
Okay.
Average. Now we
Okay.
got all the subcategories of the word bad, right? Like annoying. I think we did that on the on clickbait. We had annoying, which that's where Yankees fans are going. I would think delusional.
Oof.
Also known as Mets fans nearly every year.
Oof.
Mets fans, yes. Let's
they get their own category.
Add a row. Okay, we'll have 3 more subsets. I would just think worst, right? We just put worst or S tier at the bottom.
Ooh.
Now, one that I liked from the clickbait was violent. Like, there's got to be a violent fan base.
Dodgers.
And that's not a good thing to be in.
Yeah.
Now we get one more substandard tier. What would that be?
Fairweather.
Ooh, yes. Fake.
Bandwagon.
Fake. Yes. Well done, Tree.
Bandwagon. All right, now let's change these colors. Give these
Love it.
some colors and let us begin the roasting of the fan bases. Let us begin.
Ooh.
All right, we can't go in order here because it starts with the Yankees. We got to save them for the last, right? Can't just dive into it with the Yankees. That's just nothing. That's not fair. We'll just start with the Mariners, which should we add a tier just for sad?
I'd say, because you have a couple sad fan bases there. Sad or non-existent.
All right. Let's go with add a row above. How about either pathetic / sad?
Ooh, that's so accurate.
Reds fans might find themselves in there. You know what I'm saying?
They're in the fuck Phil Castellini category.
Yeah. Now, Jeremy, what's your team? Do you have a team that you root for?
I don't, man. Like, the best way I can explain it is when I was 1, my dad got traded from the Blue Jays to the Yankees. So there's no allegiance, there's no loyalty. It's always been a business and somebody that signs a paycheck. I understand why people are fans of teams. Totally get it. Like, it's the most important part of the game is the fans.
Right.
But I just like watching the players do their thing. That's kind of where I'm at.
Gotcha. That's funny because Eric Sim, he doesn't have a team either. He's just like, I just like baseball, I guess when you do it from a business standpoint, it's a lot different perspective. When you pull that curtain back,
your
you're
players
like,
are mercenaries.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, most of them aren't from the area you grew up in. Like, very rarely will you get a guy like Garrett Cole who grew up as a Yankees fan go to the Yankees, but he's getting paid what, $300 million by them?
Yeah, and it took him how many years to get there too? You know, it's just, it's like you're essentially a mercenary, especially once free agency comes into play. So, you know, it's like I do enjoy these fan bases though, because I get to see that aspect to where I didn't grow up with that.
Right. All right, we got a showstopper here, a $50 super chat. Pow, right off the bat.
There you go.
Ryan Owen says Yankees are the worst, no questions about it. Throwing trash at Cleveland and the definition of spoiled brats.
Oof.
By the way, congratulations to the Avalanche, LOL. Scooter. Yeah, Scooter watched his team win 2 cups in a row.
And he's still complaining.
Like,
you had 3 deep runs, dude.
It's like a Patriots.
You did better than the Penguins did.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, that's kind of where Nats fans are now. I mean, it's like you got to remind them it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but you have to remember the Nats did it with half a pitching staff. So
true.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna put Seattle in the pathetic / sad.
Yeah, they'll have some company.
Yeah. Now the Rays.
They're sad. I mean, most of the time they just went through that whole hybrid Montreal Tampa Bay thing that would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Like Stuart Sternberg's talking about, they can't be in Tampa Bay. Like, the fans aren't there in St. Petersburg. They have to move the team. So, I mean, they had a sellout, but they closed out the entire upper deck. And that's how they call it a sellout.
I think what contributes to the sadness with the Rays is every time they develop a good player, he gets shipped out of town.
Yep.
Like, he gets packaged up. They don't even throw him in bubble wrap. They just throw him in a cardboard box and they UPS him to the Yankees, the Padres.
Or they trade him to the Pirates and take their
fails.
best pitching prospects.
Yep.
Never fails. But see, I think where the Rays and the Mariners are a little different is where if the Mariners somehow start winning, people are going to start showing up.
They did last year. They did in the 95.
Yeah. And whereas the Rays, players had to buy thousands of World Series tickets.
They couldn't sell like in one of the ALDS last year.
Yeah. The Rays have been to 2 World Series. 2.
Because once again, if you look at their geographical situation, most of Tampa's population growth has been to the north and the east. St. Petersburg is really tough to get to, especially with rush hour traffic. That's why nobody goes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in that area, and St. Pete is down, away from everything.
It's landlocked, and then in a little gully, and it's it's just they have to move to Tampa. That's the only way.
I do kind of dig it down there in Tampa, though.
It is nice, especially for
Maria
Florida.
Island, Sarasota. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice.
For sure.
The Blue Jays. What do we do with the Blue Jays? So you did not remember. I mean, they're very passionate fans. They've had a rough go.
I say they're good, man. They traveled. I don't think they're the best, but they show up. I think they're good. I think that's their ceiling.
Good tier.
I don't know if I go that high, but I think they're good. I think that's their ceiling. I definitely wouldn't call them best. They
kind of were quiet when they weren't good, but once again, they did have to play in Buffalo. So
yeah.
I'll give that an asterisk.
That was sad. I would say I'll put them in the good tier. I think we went to
a Jays game.
Sky Day. Yeah, we went to the Sky Day.
And Toronto did blow it. That was hilarious.
Dude, the whole country loves that team though, without a doubt. That's what's on most TVs. They love that team.
Except Montreal, they want their own team.
True.
Again, but...
This is true, but they still begrudgingly will watch the Jays.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to give Canadians credit. They love their Jays.
They do. They love all the sports up there in Canada. It's very interesting. You know what they love in Montreal? They love the Alouettes. The Canadian Football League. I remember when I was up there, I was trying to watch Canadian football. I was like, is this football?
It's interesting.
Looks like football, but it's not.
It's got an arena flair to it, the speed of it, and the kind of motion and stuff. It's kind of cool.
They also get to start running before they snap the ball, which I think is hilarious.
Awesome.
I think
Love
that they
it.
should shoot them out of a catapult. That would be even funnier.
The goalposts are all in the front too, like it's the freaking 70s.
Yeah. You can still run into it, and
Right?
they have 20-yard end zones.
Dude, it's
Like
nuts.
they're huge.
It's so nuts, man. And that league's doing pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, they love it in Canada. Like, I mean, all the teams do. Hamilton, the Tiger Cats.
Yeah.
I like their rules too, as well. Like on a punt, you can't get within 3 yards of the returner until he catches it.
Ooh,
then
love
you
it.
can hit his ass.
Promotes
so like there's no
offenses.
fair catch. Like it basically forces you can let it bounce if you want. It's not I don't think it's live until you pick it up, but still you can't get within 3 yards of the catcher. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And they also have the rogue, the 1 point. I think it's like a 1 point safety or so. It's like, I don't know, it's weird as shit. Like I think you can kick it through. I don't know. You watch it, it's like rugby and football all at once. It's amazing.
That's cool.
All right, a couple super chats. Speaking of Canadians, Illogical Canadian says, "Thanks again, Tree and Five, for coming on the podcast. It was an honor having you both again. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank
that was
you, man.
fun." David Lim says Nazem Kadri did nothing wrong. Well, now he's a Stanley Super.
Yep.
He's a Cup champion now.
Congratulations, Toronto.
And Ian's Dahlia says, "Congrats, Avs, on a well-deserved Cup win. It sucks that the Bolts came up short from history, but at least they made Colorado work." Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Taking a series to 6 games, it's like great, but you still lost. The sting,
Right.
you could lose in 4 and get your ass kicked, or you
True.
could lose in 7 and be right there. I don't know what's worse. I don't know. Maybe losing in 4 hurts.
Yeah, it varies on like if it's like deep in the playoffs or early.
I've always wanted to put together an index of how much hope that your team gives you. Like actually
that's a good one.
quantify. Like you could do it, be like, all right, how many days there are in a season and how many days was your team in it? And that
Ooh,
would be
yeah.
the hope index.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're at a certain point, depending on how your team's doing, you're just playing for, like, if you're out of it, you know you're out of it, or you just can't match up with what you're going up against on a regular basis. You just got to produce. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. You just got to produce.
The Pirates hope index is like the first month of the season, and then
there's like it's always like before the year you get that delusion that, oh, we can do something. That's how it always was when I was a kid. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do something, and then you actually look at the team. It's like, no, we aren't doing shit. And then someday you're like 10 games under 500. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, talent shows up over time.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
for sure. Now, Marlins fans, I've got beef with Marlins fans because
they have fans.
Yeah, that's
they've been broken like 4 times, like by ownership, and they might be broken again if the rumors are true. But I would say either,
bro, that I got them as being S tier, man. They literally had a brand new stadium and couldn't even come close to filling it up. Blame Ozzy for some of it.
Yeah.
But dude, like they don't have fans. They don't have fans at all.
It's in a weird part of town, that stadium.
And was it Orange Bowl site?
I forget.
Yes, it's on the exact side of the Orange Bowl, I believe. It's a beautiful stadium. Like you see it and you're just like, wow, it's like different and modern and great. And then they don't show up, for one, because the team sucks. They've had 2 fire sales in the without even 4 and 20. They had 2 rebuilds without actually rebuilding.
Oh my gosh, dude! They've had 4 complete fire sales already in the last 20 years.
2 after World Series wins.
Yep, they lucked into that second one, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to put them in sad. Like, okay,
because
if you are a Marlins fan, like you're sad. But then there's just fans that don't show up that are fair weather. It's like it's in between here, right? Like,
have you ever met one though, dude? I've never met a Marlins fan, bro.
We have some. We have some that follow the show. We have some that follow us on Twitter. Like, we can't base an entire fan base off of 2 people,
right?
That's unfair. But all the ones that I know are nice and they love their team.
Gotcha.
But it's like if you want to base Giants fans off of me, a salty, fucking angry bald man, like you would just be like, all right, they suck, all of them. All of them. This guy has no confidence in his team until they start winning, and then he starts talking shit.
Not with the way you've been talking about Daniel Jones for the past few months.
That's true. It's rough. Now, do you have a football team, Jeremy?
Okay, so no, because my local team is the Cardinals. I'll watch them.
Okay.
I'll watch them. They're exciting to watch, even if they, cliff and they choke. We all know this. I'm pretty sure you've even covered it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, you did, right?
Yeah, I did the Kingsbury video.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
Yep, told you, dude. Of course, I love your shit. So, but like, I'll still watch them. But I grew up, dude. When I was a kid, the Oilers left. They just dipped out on us. So I was not about to become a Cowboys fan like most people in Houston. Like hell no, bro. No shot. Like dude, put them on S tier on this list. So I just enjoyed watching, and it was cool because we got to watch a ton of games in Houston. So I just enjoy watching everybody. NFL is probably the best sport to watch all the teams without having to get a package.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Because the product is so good.
So good.
It's easy to digest.
Yep.
Yeah. It's always a lot of violence. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of Cardinals, St. Louis fans, they're generally good. I would say
Cardinals fans can get really obnoxious.
They can get fucking obnoxious.
I'm going to be completely honest. They're top tier.
Really?
100%. You talk to any player.
Talk
to any player. Cardinals fans, Cardinals fans show up day in, day out for decades and decades, no matter what the stadium, no matter what their team's doing, they show up. They are, I swear to you, you talk to players, especially guys that play for them and against them, they're going to be like, yep, Cardinals fans are incredible. They're that good. They're that loyal.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious. I'm
passionate. A little annoying.
They absolutely are. But like Cardinals, I know that's a controversial pick, but like I'm telling you, Cardinals fans show up.
They do.
They do.
They
don't. I mean, they do travel well too. That's the surprising thing. Cardinal fans travel well.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
They are.
I'm gonna put them in good, just because
I like good.
There's a ding on them because they talk a lot of shit when they're good. They're very loyal. They beef hard with the Cubs fans.
Yep.
They are. I don't know. I can't put them all the way up.
Fair enough. Absolutely. I feel like they're just like a legacy franchise that always tries to win, and the fans know that, and the team knows that, so they play like they carry themselves a certain way, and so do the fans. And it becomes
like the
annoying.
Green Bay Packers of fan bases, like, we're good.
Yeah.
We know our shit. I've never met a Cardinals fan that didn't know baseball, though. I'll give them credit. Like, you don't get into, you can't be a Cardinals fan and just be fair weather as shit and just, I don't know who these guys are. Yeah.
Generational fans. And it's not a huge market.
No, not at all.
You know,
it was all right city.
They punch above their weight for sure. Always have.
All right, we'll put them in the good for now. They're close to best. There's some. I'm thinking about who's best, but I'm not going to put them up there yet. In my back of my mind. Let's read one super chat from Dodger. What's up, Dodge?
What's up, Dodge?
10 Saturdays until college football is back. Ooh, do you have a college team? Jared?
Ooh, okay. Man, I've always liked the Longhorns. I know. I didn't go to. Yeah. I've always liked them, being a Texas guy. I've always liked that they've been, Nike. They've been good. They were good for a long time in a lot of different sports. It's not the same anymore. Every school's got money and stuff. And I love Austin. So I've always liked the Longhorns. Not enough to go.
Our friend who we do the show on Wednesday on Uche stream, Justin Blaylock, former offensive lineman for the Falcons. He went to Texas and he played in the greatest game ever.
Oh,
like he got to play in that game. I'm just like, yo, that he's just like, he's like, yeah, it was great. That's how Justin is. He's an offensive lineman, so he's very cerebral, man of few words. Funny as hell, though. Funny as hell.
Gotta be cerebral.
Right. Yes, like your job is to stop a man who's trying to kill you every down. Like you have to think, like, what's this man gonna do? I've got a fight or flight instinct here. All right. We get to the Astros. It's fine. Do we put them just in S tier? Like Astros fans are both delusional, fake,
They have a massive chip on their shoulder. Like you talk anything about like garbage cans or like just about cheating or how they have a tainted World Series or piece of metal, they'll come after you in just like
they're delusional. They're delusional and fake. You're so right, though. That totally makes sense. So Houston's my hometown.
Right. If they're both those things, then they have to be S tier, right? Like,
they're the worst.
And there'll be one Houston fan in the audience here that will talk shit and just be like, fucking suck it. Like, cry more. Like, listen.
It's a Houston aggression, bro. Real talk. I don't blame them, dude. If you had to drive in traffic in that city every day, I'd be aggressive as hell too, dude. I lived there all the way through college. So I get it.
I've been to Houston. It takes 2 hours to get to the other side of town. The one thing is like, all right, when you know your team has done something that was kind of bullshit and you own up to it, I will respect that. Like Michael Strahan breaking the sack record. I was there. It was complete bullshit. And I'm willing to admit that. I don't sit here and flex and be like, yeah, he's the all-time sack leader.
True.
It's like, so what? It was bullshit and we won. You won't hear a Houston fan say that.
Of course, because it's their only World Series. If they had another World Series, they'd be like, yeah.
Right.
But now, nope, that's their legacy.
You won't hear them say, yeah, we used the trash cans and hey, we got a World Series out of it. Like I would respect that.
Never. It's like, oh, the Yankees cheated, the Red Sox cheated, which I mean, duh, I see the Red Sox with my own eyes. But yeah, but
what do you think you would hit, Jeremy, if you knew what pitch was coming?
Oh my gosh, dude. For every home game,
hit it? Dude. You think you'd hit in the 4s?
Dude, I would say add 50 points to the average.
Oh my god.
It's that big of a difference.
For me, if you tell me a fastball's coming, I'm just sitting dead red on that shit.
I got my timing, dude. That's it. My timing's it. Now I just need to see if is it anywhere that you can absolutely destroy this ball. Like it makes your decision a lot easier.
Especially for me, because like when the breaking shit looks like a cookie, like I'm gonna swing.
We're gonna crush it.
Not one. No, I'm not gonna lay off. I'm gonna be like, that's my pitch, and the next thing I know, I'm walking back to the dugout. So if you know that it's not gonna break on you,
it's so funny you mentioned that because the good breaking balls that are the good breaking balls to hit look like a crappy pitch at first.
Really,
that's the ironic part about it. Like the ones that look like a cookie at first are going to be like, they're probably not going to be a good pitch to hit. The ones that's like, oh, that's up. Wait, no, it's not. Bah, got him.
Wow.
Just little stuff like that,
That because maybe that's why you were a professional athlete and I was a weenie that played against some D1 college players and thinks he knows a thing or two about baseball.
I had like 900 strikeouts, so I learned a few things along the way.
Yeah, you learned a lot, right? That's how you learn. Right. Let's see. We got another super chat here from Conman752. Sad should be changed to kicked in the balls since Tree says the Mariners do that to their fans every year. It is true.
Doing it this year.
Yeah, they should have their own tier, I think, the Mariners. But we got too many tiers. All right, Braves fans, are they good?
Ooh.
Are they annoying? They're annoying to me as a Mets fan. Talk a lot of shit in that Southern Atlanta accent.
They've earned it. They've earned it, though. And that, especially in that division, I got to say, Braves fans have earned it. Just like Cardinals have earned it in the Central. Braves fans have earned it in the East because of their sustained dominance for the past few decades.
They're a tough one to gauge for me.
Many of them,
they still are annoying, but they've earned it at least in the East.
I'm gonna say they're annoying.
Yeah,
fucking annoying, man. They talk a lot of shit. They defended the tomahawk chop.
Of course,
that's which I don't. I mean, it's been there. I don't really, whatever.
At least they got rid of Chief Nakahoma.
That was the most.
Oh my God, who okayed that?
I don't remember that logo, the Cleveland Indians logo with the
Wahoo,
bro.
Yeah, Chief
Wahoo. Dude, it's like come on, it's like
Chief Nakahoma was even.
You have to admit,
what are we doing, people?
You have to admit that was that's kind of clever.
Dude,
Like,
oh
keep
my gosh,
knocking
they thought
on.
they were so clever.
Yeah,
dude.
they're
Oh,
like, yeah,
look,
yeah.
hey, you gotta do the art thing. Hey, Roger,
Yeah.
look at this.
So I'm from Richmond. So I live in Richmond, Virginia. At the stadium, they used to have an Indian like coming out of the snack bar, like a sculpted Indian.
Horrible
like,
ballpark.
Yeah. Oh God, the
Played
worst.
against the flying squirrels. Oh,
Yeah, you played against the squirrels, eh?
brutal.
It's a terrible ballpark.
Yeah,
Terrible.
of course they had that. I mean, it is Virginia, so makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, you can get great seats in the ballpark for like $10. So,
Oh,
it's minor league
sure.
baseball.
That's the
All right,
draw.
O's fans.
Oh,
I respect the O's fans a lot because they staged a walkout and they actually stuck to it. Like I just remember them doing that. I was like, that took balls to just walk out in the 5th inning or whatever.
Yeah. The Pirates tried to do that, but then the Pirates ended up winning that game. This was like back in 07. And then they didn't even like the walkout didn't even work. It's like you want to walk out. It's like, the Pirates are good. We're just staying put.
yeah.
They're getting better too. The team's getting better. They got Adley Rushman, who's a stud.
Yep.
You know, you're right.
Castle, Grayson Rodriguez.
You know what's crazy is like, dude, they have a good matchup, and granted, there might be a lot of away fans. They have no problem packing that place out. Still, all these years later,
man.
all these years later,
I do love Cam.
I feel like they're
I
average.
try to go there every year.
You feel like they're average? I would say they're good.
You think
to
they're good?
average.
They love, good to average. They
to
love their
average.
team, even if the team doesn't love them.
Yeah.
You know, Orioles fans love their team more than
Let's
a
put
lot
them
of
at
other
average
places.
now, and I'll let it marinate and maybe get them up to good. Just because I'm letting the ballpark cloud my judgment, like the experience.
As it should.
Yeah,
though.
it's like the experience.
They
at
are the
Camden
ballpark.
Yards.
It's
That's true.
That's a huge part of it, especially at like a player's perspective. That a lot of that kind of goes into this too, you know, especially as a road player going into that atmosphere, you know, for sure. Camden Yards, it's goated.
You know what? I'm gonna put them in good then, because here's the thing: I've been to a million games at Camden Yards, probably the most I've ever seen. Never seen a fight. Never seen people talking shit.
They know their baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know their baseball.
Yep.
Everyone's
generations
friendly.
too, man.
Yeah, everyone's friendly. And if you sit in the club level, they serve crab cakes. So I'm just saying, let's go.
Yeah,
let's go.
Boog Powell's barbecue, baby.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
Utah.
Yes, come on, dude. Oh my gosh, right on Utah. Yes.
Yes. All right.
Now we're talking.
Dan Young says, "Oh no, do we read this?" Oh no, that one guy says, "What was the most heartbreaking loss of any of your teams I've ever had in the playoffs?" Ooh, for me, it was the 2009 NFC Championship. The one game that I still cannot talk about is Auburn losing the national championship to Florida State in 2011. I still am unable to process it. We were ahead and then we lost, so I can still never think about it. Like I'm still mad.
Yeah,
I'm a military brat. I was born in Alabama, and
still stings.
On your birth certificate, you have to choose. Like, Auburn or an Alabama fan, like one or the other.
Oh my gosh,
and you have to fill it out before you leave
Dr. Andrews, James Andrews.
Yes,
dude. Okay, he told me a really funny story. Like, if you have any issues and your team doctor can't figure it out, like they send you to him in Birmingham or in Jacksonville, depending on where he's at. So I go to Birmingham to see him, and he was telling us his Bo Jackson story about how, you know, like they pick you up in a shuttle from the airport, and the shuttle had an Alabama bumper sticker on it, and Bo's like, I can't get in this car. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, I can't get in this car. And so he refused. They had to get another vehicle. It's that big a deal. How funny is that?
It's life or death down there. They really do care about it's life or death. One more. Oh, do you guys have a heartbreaking loss?
For like me, probably 2015 wildcard game against the Cubs. Second best record in baseball. Kyle Schwarber just smacking the ball right in the Allegheny. You're just like,
shit. That's a good one.
And then he slowly died. I mean, that was your best shot. Unfortunately, it's just Pirates fans have a hatred of the wild card game, even though like our best memories out of that wild card game. It's just like,
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
That was rough.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what about you? Well, you got any or maybe personal losses?
You know, I got a good one as a fan. Rockets are my team. Like I was young enough to remember going to see games when, Jordan's retirement, that asterisk with those back-to-back titles.
Hey, those were
earned. Team of loss was
earned.
Houston fan admitting it. Okay. Rare.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. You're not an Astros fan though.
So. No shot, dude. I was in their backyard and they didn't even want to consider drafting me twice. So it was actually 3 times. I'm good, man. They can rot in hell. But mine is Damian Lillard. I was watching the game with my dad. Damian Lillard against the Rockets. Yao hits a turnaround jumper with a second and a half left, and then Lillard comes back and hits that three, that deep 3 to end the series. That was my big one. You know what I'm talking about? Not Lillard. Yeah. Sorry, not Lillard. Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy.
Oh yeah.
Brandon Roy. Yes, my bad. Not Lillard. Brandon Roy.
No, you're thinking of a different series. Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon Roy.
And he just was ice cold, and he was like,
"Yep,
count it."
That was it.
Oh, Yao Ming.
Yep. We thought Yao won it, and then Brandon Roy. Man, his career was cut way too short. Yep.
Yeah, so he had some spinal thing, right? Like it was
and his feet fell apart. Like his feet. He was just too big, man.
Yeah.
I was telling you about when I freaking I ran into him literally in an elevator. I was texting while getting in the elevator, and I went boom like that right into Yao Ming's head or his chest, right into Yao Ming's chest. And
Somebody said that they met Yao Ming and that they said that their head was at his hip.
I believe it, dude.
I feel it.
Tall.
I'm 6'5", and his crutches were taller than me.
I'm sure like everything on him's huge, right? Like his head is huge.
Yes, he's a mutant. Huge, bro. It's so disproportional. It's crazy. It's literally watching he honestly was so big that it looked like he had some kind of giant sickness.
Yeah. Those are people that you have to stop, and you're like, and then the rest of your life you think about how big they are, and you're just like, man, everywhere he goes, he is the biggest person there. Even Shaq was like, holy shit, this guy's big.
Yeah, dude.
Shaq,
crazy.
Shaquille. All right. Dan Young says, I know one Marlins fan, and I live in Florida. Wow. I'm Mary Poppins says Orioles fans are the meme lords. Yeah, they're pretty good at memeing. Lol Boy.
They can laugh at themselves.
66. New York Mets have literally the most annoying fans in baseball. Yeah, we're pretty annoying.
Oh, yeah. YouTube's nothing but Mets fans. All you have to do is get a pulse of it.
Oh, yeah. And Mary Poppins says Squirrels won the first half of the EL. Yes, the Squirrels are doing well. That's my team. That's my local team. Nice. Every time I go see them, they win. And my father-in-law works at the ballpark, so he gets us great tickets.
Nice.
All right, Cleveland fans.
Probably good or bad, I would say. I mean, you watch them choke for all. Do we have to
put them all in sad? I think they're just average.
I think they're honestly. I'm with you on average. Like they'll show up like a decent amount, especially when they're doing good. If they're not doing good, they're not there as much. They're kind of annoying, but they do love their team.
Yeah, I think sad is good because they've had so much heartbreak, and but they got to a World Series in 2016. They've got to a World Series,
but they blew a 3-1 lead.
They did blow a 3-1.
I mean, they had it.
I think they're good fans. I'm gonna just put them average. All right, let's blow through these here. Colorado fans. Ooh.
Rockies are tough because I feel like most people don't really go to Rockies games to watch the Rockies. Yeah, I feel like they just go there to drink and enjoy the stadium.
I think they're a little bandwagon.
I was with the Rockies in 2015. I was with them. Okay. Actually signed with them twice that year. They don't really have they have people that go to games, but they don't really have many fans outside of the few people on Purple Row, which is like their web little fan site thing. But they don't travel. They do not travel well.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those things. For as big as that, I mean, I know it's not a huge market, but it's a big city. As big as it is, dude, they don't really have a lot of people that
have a lot of
really
transplants
there, I think. Exactly.
They're not as into the team as, say, the Broncos, right? Like Broncos,
No.
they could be a 4-win team and they're selling out still. They're showing out. I'm going to put them in fake bandwagon.
Yeah. Yep. They show up when the team's in the playoffs. That's it.
Now, this next one, Detroit is tough because they love their team.
They love their team,
They
but
love
many reasons to cheer.
Yeah, but they're also kind of sad. Like Illich really fucked them over.
I feel like the team is more sad than the fans, though. If you think about it, like the fans still somehow are kind of generally positive people for being first off in Detroit and being Tigers fans. Like they're always like these, right? I mean, let's just say call it is what it is. What it is.
You're just doubling down on misery.
I mean, it's true. Like they don't really expect a whole lot, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What do Tigers fans expect?
Yeah, nothing. They expect their team to fuck up. That's what they do, expect.
And they don't really rip their team because they know their team sucks.
Yeah. I mean, like Taylor, who runs the Michigan Sports Truth, he'll come in and rip them because that's how he copes with the misery of being a Tigers fan. But it's mostly pathetic and sad. I'll put them there. All right, Royals fans, pretty good fans.
Good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Good. They don't really travel well, but they're good.
I wouldn't put them in the best just because, like, they're just.
I feel like to be in the best, you have to travel well.
Yeah, that's a good criteria.
You know, you have to. You got to see that team's color on visiting games every single place they go.
Yeah, that's true. Then maybe that brings the Cardinals up to best.
That's where I was saying. You see red everywhere they go. They travel well everywhere they go. Doesn't matter in division, interleague. It doesn't matter. They are always there. That's kind of like my perspective of it.
You're lobbying hard for Cardinals fans,
dude. I'm telling you, they're a legacy. They're top tier when it comes to their fandom.
We might go back to them.
We might.
We don't have anyone in best. We got to pick one team as the best. By the way, all right. Brewers fans, another team that they don't talk shit. They're not that bandwagony. I think they're just either average or good. Average. Let's put them average.
Yeah, I can see that.
They don't travel that well either.
No, they don't travel at all.
They pack out at home, but that's about it.
Ballpark's beautiful though.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I got to catch a game there.
The camera angles do not show its true beauty.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a great ballpark, man. It really is. It feels like it really does do a great job of feeling like an outdoor stadium when that roof is open.
Same with Arizona. The Chase Field, I loved it when I went there. When I do the aerial stadium reviews, it's hard to tell until you go there and see it. Camera doesn't do Chase Field justice.
It's especially for being 25 years old. It's still a great park. They want a new one though.
Yeah, well, I think they're having issues with the roof. I think that's one of the issues there.
It's more of an issue.
Yeah, it's one of those things we want a new stadium. It's like the Texas Rangers issue.
Yeah.
Well, not building a fucking roof.
I know.
What were they doing?
I mean, I don't know.
Why didn't they start with a roof in Texas? Texas.
I mean, they have a set of precedent of building a terrible stadium, following it up with another stadium that's not that good.
Yeah.
They had the Arlington Stadium that was temporary that they expanded and used for 30 years for whatever reason. Oh,
what a waste. They built a livestock auction house was what they did.
They really did.
They're like, all right, we can trade cattle and have baseball games here. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right. Angels fans.
This
bandwagon.
I've heard stories about how obnoxious
average.
They're
not as violent as Dodgers fans because they're a little bit more upscale, right?
I could see the argument, them being defensive just because of how shitty their owner is, and also because of all the rumor relocations going on now. Because once again, that stadium deal fell through because it apparently the mayor was taking kickbacks and bribes.
Yep. And so it fell completely through and he had to resign.
Yeah, that was a weird situation. I was doing a video on them last year. I'm like, wait, how did they get that land for so cheap?
Makes sense now, right?
Yep.
I'm seeing delusional in the chat here.
But they don't even have fans.
What are their delusions? Explain their delusions.
The Angels don't even have fans, though.
It's
That's the
because
crazy
the
thing.
Angels are trying to market to LA when they're an hour away in Anaheim. That's why.
Like they legit don't even have fans.
This is a tough one.
They don't travel. They really can't fill up for the amount of talent that they put on that field on a regular basis over how many years now? They don't fill up that place on a regular basis. Like
everyone in the chat is saying delusional. So let's give this one to the chat.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's give it to the chat. Delusional. They haven't won a World Series since what, 2002 with Troy Gloss?
Rally monkey.
Yep.
Yeah, the rally.
They still have the rally monkey.
Yep. When Disney's blown them.
Okay, if they still have that, they're definitely delusional.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And they had that. Wait, was that Tyler Skaggs? Was that?
Yeah, Skaggs was
the
pitcher.
Angels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had that happen, but that's not the fans' fault,
right?
But it's just crazy that they let that permeate through their clubhouse and that happened. But now they have Ohtani, and now they have Mike Trout, and they haven't won and Rendon.
Well, until they realize they don't want to pay Ohtani, and then he goes elsewhere.
Dude, they have way too many guys on 9-figure deals. What the hell are they doing?
It's Artie Moreno.
It's Artie Moreno, man. You get a 9-figure deal.
He was the one that pretty much signed Pujols, Hamilton, and Rendon.
Right.
He hired Joe Madden. He was the one who nixed the deal. That
Upton coming over, dude.
Oh, Upton.
That's a huge one, dude.
Scott Kazmir, Vernon Wells. That was Moreno.
Oh my God, Gary Matthews Jr.
Gary Matthews,
dude.
Jr.
They are so they
just go
overpay so many
big names.
Yeah, they're going for the big names to attract them in that market and all that.
They're the Washington Redskins of the MLB. They just pay old hags,
and they threw $21 million at Noah Syndergaard, who threw like 2 innings in 2 years.
Gosh, and then what's his name? Jared Weaver.
Yeah.
They even got Harvey, Lincecum,
Julio Teheran. Like $9 million.
They gave Lincecum money.
They gave. He was like that last minute experiment. They brought him in. Yep.
Yeah,
to do a double take every time.
They just like throwing money at the problem and like, hey, this will work.
What was bad was Lincecum had been washed for like 2 years, and they still gave him money.
They wanted
his name was still worth something.
Yeah, in his prime, he was amazing. Like I've never seen such a rapid decline from being a Cy Young pitcher to just couldn't locate.
Dude, he went back to Clerks.
Lost velocity on his fastball. Like he was just getting lit up.
Same
but
thing
he is for someone that's 5'10", he's my hero.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
I dig that.
A's fans have got to be sad.
They're sad. I mean, they're potentially moving. They're not showing up to the stadium because they don't know if their team's going to be there. Less than 3,000 fans a game. I mean, that's by design. When you sell off your entire team, your ownership is trying to court Las Vegas when you don't know if you're even going to get a stadium in Howard Terminal. Apparently, I think it's like early July when they'll announce.
Apparently, they've renewed that.
Oh,
well, I mean, they haven't approved it yet, but it's like
it's California, man.
Can I say fuck the A's?
Oh, well, okay. Do we have a story behind this?
Well, 7 years of having my balls in a vice grip. They're a joke, dude. They're a joke. I was with the A's for 7 years. I didn't meet Billy Beane until after I was done with playing with them. Didn't even meet him until after. They're a joke, dude. They do not care about their players, their fans, their team, themselves. They're a joke. Straight up joke.
Up there, man. John Fisher. He's a businessman. He doesn't care.
Dude, it's like I'm pretty sure it's like the Gap Air is the guy the owner, right? Isn't that it? Or Banana Republic? Yeah. Dude, they're a joke. Absolute freaking joke.
Anyways, inside perspective tonight, boys.
Dude,
I had no idea that
they're as bad as it gets, man. They're like literally as bad as it gets. I feel bad for the fans that they somehow still have.
Billy Beane should have left and gone to the Red Sox. He's
not even going to the Red Sox. He was looking about potentially going to Europe and managing a football team.
No.
David
When they
Force
offered
is the issue now.
Yeah,
right.
David Force is he even with them anymore? By the way, David Force.
I think so.
He's got to be, dude, because they still suck. I gotta look this up.
And
He's the worst. That dude's a little rat.
Yeah, he's a baseball executive. Yep, he's still there.
There you go. That's why they suck.
Harvard University degree in sociology. I mean, with those glasses, he does kind of look like a douche.
Oh man, this guy would come into your city, wherever you were at, and just no baseball like experience or whatever, and then just start talking nonsense. It's like, what? And you're making decisions. No wonder why. Like, man, sad.
That was Fisher's model, right? He was like, all right, I'll hire these people that I think are smart and maybe they'll run the company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get through some supers. We got about halfway here. Where were we? Con Man. The only fight I've seen at Camden Yards was between two Yankees fans. Didn't cry when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. All right.
Sounds about right.
I'm going to have to go through these pretty fast. The King Barrel Maker. I'm a Dodger fan, and we deserve to be annoying or fake tier. I know where we're putting the Dodgers. Also, how did we get swept by the Pirates? Because
it just happens like that, and the Pirates have lost like 4 straight. Somehow,
Barbarian. I've been watching the Packers soil themselves in the playoffs since the 90s, the 70s, and 80s. Watching them suck. Yeah, if you're that loyal, then you're a good fan. Smooth Criminal. Funny how Darcy Kemper wins a championship playing behind an actual defense and not having to bail his team out. Yotes fans cry in the corner, and Detroit Raptor Jesus, which is a funny name. Detroit sports fans here. Detroit fans are the most dedicated fans in all the sports. I'll give them that. But our teams hurt us to the point where we are generally sad. Love the content, fellas. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Like, fair. Like you said, Jeremy, you're already from Detroit.
Yep.
And you choose to like the Tigers. It's like you could go do things. You could go enjoy one of the many lakes in Michigan. You could go, maybe watch the Red Wings or the Pistons, but you chose to become a Tigers fan.
Yeah, you take the red pill.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You took the red pill. Phillies fans are annoying as fuck. There's no debate right there.
Do you stop it at Philly? Philly fans.
You just Philly in general. Philly fans. The entire city of Philadelphia is annoying. They embrace it. They know the identity. They like to talk shit.
Yeah, a bunch of Johns.
Phillies aren't. They would be violent, but they're more annoying. Here we go. We got Dan Young weighing in with the $69. Here, Tree, you read this one.
Yes. Here in Philly, the Phillies fans are the upper class of Philly fans. We'll boo, but we won't toss our overpriced beer at an umpire. We're Philly fan attitude light until the Lowell Mets/Braves come to CBP. Then it's full Eagles mode. We do travel.
Yeah, I'll give them that. Yep. They do travel.
They do travel. Yeah. They do travel.
That's
you
why
can still be annoying. You can bring your annoying stuff
it's
to
like
other cities.
Annoying/delusional. I mean, it depends how Philly spends their money.
They love to hate their team. And there's nothing more annoying than that.
And to be quite frank, I mean, if you've seen the Phillies the last 5 or 6 years, it's kind of justified.
I mean, yeah. But you can say that for any of their teams that they just treat them the same way. When they're good and they have one bad game, it's like, dude, it's one bad game.
Well, that's the thing with the Mets, and when we get to them, the Mets lose 2 in a row and the season's fucking over.
Same for the Yankees.
That's that New York speed, though, baby. Hey, it's what have you done for me lately in New York?
Yeah. And that's what's annoying about being a Mets fan. I try to distance myself sometimes from the other Met fans because I'm just yo. But actually, the ones that I hang around with are like me, just completely pessimistic and don't talk a lot of shit. But there's a group of Mets fans where if we win 5 in a row, we're in the World Series, and I'm just chill. Here's the thing, right? With the Phillies, right? They fire Joe Girardi, and what have they been 10 games over since they fired him?
Even then, it's fluky because how are they going to do without Bryce Harper long term?
Well, now Bryce Harper's out. And you cannot convince me that Girardi.
They have systemic issues. I mean, they don't have a defense, and their bullpen are.
Yeah.
Those have been the 2 issues. It's
no
the way
manager can fix that. I know they say he did have some questionable usage of the bullpen, but I mean, it doesn't matter how you use those guys. They were just giving it up left and right.
When you post Tommy John, Corey Knebel as your best reliever, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
it's easy to look at bullpen usage and be you suck when you lose.
Exactly.
It's easy to be you used them in the wrong spot. No, you didn't.
Maybe if your starters were a little bit better, you wouldn't have to rely on them more. Who knows? There's a bunch of things.
I mean, yeah, there are bad managers. Like Joe Madden was a shitty manager, right?
He's
like,
an
he
arrogant
just didn't
manager.
know- yeah, arrogant.
Dave Roberts is a bad manager in terms of
horrible.
tactics.
Horrible.
But I mean, he's the Mike McCarthy of baseball. Like that's what he is.
Talent that he has. He has
yeah,
talent
and he
to
won a
work with.
ring because of just being bailed out by talent. I mean,
Yep.
he
Facts,
cost
bro.
them that series against the Nats.
Dave Roberts just out Dave Robertses himself every year, especially in the
Yeah.
playoffs, bro.
Overthinking.
Yeah, Go ahead.
Oh man, you're right. It is. He overthinks it.
I call those managers CEOs because they're not, you know, like they're the big boss. They just manage the talent and they let, you know, the other guys make either the tactical decisions or they do make the tactical decisions when they shouldn't. And they just act like the bosses that come in and shit on stuff and fuck it all up. And you're just
right.
like, all right.
Trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already going smoothly. And then Dave Roberts always tries to leave his fingerprint on the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, even if it's going well, he's like, all right, I need to do something here to leave my imprint.
That's the thing. Like, okay, like Snitker, good manager. Like you barely even notice that he's managing because he just makes the right decision. Like I would say Brian Snitker, great manager. What's his name? Davey Martinez, great manager.
Yeah.
Like those guys you would think
Dusty.
of are like, Dusty Baker, fantastic. Like,
yeah, you can throw those guys on any team with like some good, like they're going to get the best out of their team.
Showalter. You rarely question Showalter's moves, right?
Yeah, this is true. The thing is, he is a little of a control freak with his players and he rules by fear.
And
so he's going to get.
That's a short-term fix. That's not going to work long-term.
Exactly. Like we're talking, this dude used to bug his clubhouses with microphones.
No way. No way.
Yep, back with the Rangers.
What are you going to learn by bugging a clubhouse?
He wanted much control, bro.
Control. I mean, they don't want dissent.
I think you'd be scared to know what's happening now in big league clubhouses.
Right.
Pittsburgh fans, this is your time. You rank them, Tree.
I'm going to be quite frank. When we're good, like we will show up in droves. We will be passionate. When they suck, we are nowhere to be found unless it's for fireworks night. We are bandwagon as shit.
Wow.
Either that or sad. Like we are so bandwagon. Like once we're good, we'll show up. That's how Yinzers are. Like unless you're the Steelers, if you're not good, they're not going to show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's not necessarily sad though.
Yeah.
It's like I got them being above I got the You're right though, like in terms of like the bandwagon though, it's so true with the Pirates fans. And they have every right to be, man. It's like either the team is trying or they're not. There's no
mediocre. That's the problem.
What team shows out? What team has fans that show out even if they're prolonged bad? Like maybe the Royals fans?
Cubs.
Yankees.
Cubs show out.
Cubs,
Number one, Cubs. Number one by far.
Because it's fun as shit to drink at Wrigley Field at 2:00 on a Wednesday.
Dude, they'll show up anywhere the Cubs are playing.
That's true.
Anytime, no matter how shitty the team is, number one is in terms of the fans, they'll show up no matter what. They're not there for the team. They're there for the experience. And because they love the Cubs, not the product. They don't really care about the product on the field. They don't. Yeah. Cubs fans don't. I mean, I know they're going to say they do, but they show up like they don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll give them that. Padres fans, this one's tough.
They were pretty annoying during their rebuild. I don't know how they are now. I mean,
remember that rap that San Diego?
Oh my!
Oh yeah, that was
so cringe.
Oh,
like, I would throw them in annoying.
This show.
They'd be annoying.
You think you want to put San Diego fans as annoying?
Annoying or delusional, man?
Delusional's better. Because they did talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
They were going after Dodgers fans. You know what they were? They were like Mets fans when the Mets are finally good. The first thing that Mets fans do when we're finally good is go right at the Yankees fans.
Yeah.
And that's what because we have an inferiority complex. And that's what Padres fans, they have a major Dodgers inferiority complex. And as soon as they're good, they're like, you got to fuck with the blue.
They have an inferiority complex against LA in general. They're
always paying attention to what they're doing, even if it doesn't really involve them. You're right. They always find a way to get them involved in the nudge that, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they overthink their transactions. Like, I mean, they should be doing like with with the players that they have.
As a Pirates fan, we will take more of the Padres minor league system.
I mean, they're good. They're good. And if Tatis could be healthy, like, don't get me wrong, I love the Padres team when they're all together. Like, Tatis is amazing to watch.
Right.
Darvish is always fun to watch pitch. Even Blake Snell is fun to watch pitch.
Right.
But like the fans are a little annoying.
And they don't travel whatsoever.
No,
none.
You can't
None.
run into. Because why would you leave? Why would you leave San Diego? It's fucking awesome. I love San Diego. It's fucking great.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Rangers fans.
Oh, bandwagon.
Yeah,
bandwagon. Dude, Rangers fans, when they're winning, you'll see people at games with creases still in their t-shirts. I mean, come on, that's a definition of fake.
Right. It's like it's got whoever the starting pitcher is that day, and they're just like, all right, let's go,
bro. They're so fake. They're so annoying, and it's like, dude, yeah, they're such a bandwagon fan, especially back-to-back World Series losses. That was a definition, and then after that, nowhere to be found.
Hey, I'm a big fan of Adrian Belter. They misspell it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great assessment of them as bandwagon. Like most Dallas fans,
I was in that
most
division
people
a long
in
time.
Arlington are pretty fair weather. I must say, if not annoying, because yes, all those Texas Rangers fans are Dallas Cowboy fans in the off season.
Yep.
Same cloth. All right, Raptor. Jesus, did we read that?
Technically, Rangers fandom is the preseason to Dallas Cowboys fandom. They're just warming up.
Okay, no, I read
true.
Point blank 03. The Royals fan base is being held hostage. You need to help them.
they are having a rough year, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you brought up that big first base prospect, so
yeah,
see how that goes. But
Josh Howard says KC fans are good, but we're in an abusive relationship with our crappy front office. I mean, y'all moneyballed your way to a World Series. One
repeated playoff appearances with not that much of a payroll, and they did overpay a few guys. Like they did what they could for as long as they could, man. You got to be realistic. That's not a market.
It's a small market thing. I mean, at the end of the day, too, like they outpriced guys.
Yeah.
Mustakas, Hosmer. I mean, were you going to pay Hosmer 7 years? Like San Diego's already trying to offload that deal.
They got lucky and hit with a bunch of homegrown talent, man. Like you get that was a lot of that was things panning out. Like
they got lucky with Alex Gordon panning out. Like he was average. World Series year, he was above average for one.
Yep.
They called him a bust for a while.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with being in that market. He didn't get the credit that he really was due, because he put together a very solid career. Was one of the best defensive left fielders in the league for a long time too, especially for a guy that changed positions.
Oh, for
but it's
sure.
Just that market.
Yeah. He would. I think. Who drafted? Was it the Royals that drafted Mark Apple?
Mark Appel?
The Phillies.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the Phillies. The Pirates actually drafted him first. He never signed, and then got the Philly the next year.
There was another big bust. There was another big bust in the Royals system, though. A pitcher,
Luke Kochevar,
Luke Kochevar,
new coach.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. He had a weird thing.
Bubba Starling
played for the Fort Worth Cats. Yeah, Bubba Starling. I mean, but they really rely on their system more than a bunch of other teams. So if they do well, man, that's just like that. Like their investment's paying off.
Right, but if you miss, that's a big hole.
If they miss, they play like they play in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like
you're seeing the results of it.
Yeah, you're seeing the results of a Major League Baseball team in Kansas City. So,
all right, we're getting to some big fan bases here. Red Sox.
Ooh.
Red Sox is the best. They're the best. I know they're annoying.
Fans are the best,
dude. Red Sox fans are the best, dude. They love their team more than absolutely anything. They are literally cream of the crop for 100+ years. I'm telling you, I was lucky enough to live it for parts of 2 years. I got to be there in the thick of it. They're incredible. They know everything that's going on with them, even though if they can't say it properly. They know their team. They know who they're playing against. They know the mother's maiden name of the other player. Like they know their shit, dude. They're Red Sox fans. Other teams might think they're annoying, but they know their shit. They're legit. They show up. I was lucky enough to see it firsthand.
A lot of people in chat are saying annoying.
Yeah, that's because they
Because
probably root for teams that don't do well.
Right, because Jared Carrabis is the face of their fan base, and he just talks shit about the Yankees like the whole time. Like that's or Portnoy. Like, okay, you get David Portnoy as like representing your fan base, and he's annoying, right?
I don't see that. I never saw it from that way. I just saw it from the passion and from the sheer quantity of the people that have the B all over their shit. It's everywhere, dude. It's always a sea of red. Everywhere they go, it's a sea of red, and they are not shy to like. They're a pat on your back kind of city, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'll give you this. I'm gonna go with annoying. That's what they are. Fine. They're fucking annoying. Like that's like, look, I know you got to experience it. Like I'm sure they loved you and the town and everything is great, but their online presence is annoying as fuck. They're known fans that associate with them annoying as fuck. And the way that they go at the Yankees is annoying as fuck. But you know what? I think a rivalry, but like the way that you handle a rivalry is different. Like, I don't know,
dude. If in terms of that Yankees Red Sox rivalry, I'll put it this way: when I signed with them, my dad didn't even talk to me. He asked me who I signed with, and I was like Boston, and he hung up on me. Okay,
really?
So 100%. Yeah. Damn. So that rivalry is real, but it lives on because it's like generational. You know, it's freaking generational in terms of that rivalry. And I think even more, it's more surprising. I was expecting the Red Sox fans to be annoying. Dude, they get a bad rep. If you're talking about online presence, that's your world. I'm not familiar with that. I get that. I totally get that.
But in real life, you're saying that
in real life, in terms of in the ballpark, day in, day out, home or road, Red Sox fans are at the top. They are top two. That is my perspective of it. I don't know about the other stuff.
Okay,
that's all.
I
get how that can be annoying. I totally get how that can be annoying.
They're still annoying. Giants fans. This one's tough.
Ooh. Dude, I think they go right next.
Some of them are violent.
Yeah, but they can be knowledgeable, man.
They're usually on the receiving end of an ass whooping.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah. They started the fight and then they got their asses kicked.
You know, they're pretty bandwagon team, dude. Like bandwagon fan base. I think they can be good at times. They can be average most times, but they're very bandwagon depending on that team's record.
Yeah, that's true. They did win 3 World Series in 5 years?
Yeah, what was it? Every even year?
Every even year?
Yeah.
Even year.
I mean, the team's average this year, so I don't see that much chirping online. I would just put them as average, right?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
They're meh, right?
I wouldn't call them good fans. Do they travel well?
No.
Do they travel well?
No. Do you see any Giant stuff at Flying Squirrels games?
No.
Exactly. And they've been that affiliate for a long time since the
there's no Giants fans that come to because it's all the way. Like, I don't understand why they have their AA affiliate in Richmond. Like,
because they got stuck there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Richmond needed a team. We were the AAA for the Braves. They screwed us over. Then they were like, let's put the AA team all the way across the country.
I would say
we did get to see Brandon Crawford here.
This is true. He stud, dude. Stud. Didn't expect him to be so good for so long. Good for him, right?
Yeah.
He had a renaissance.
Had his best year last year, man. Good for him.
Him and Posey.
Dodgers fans have got to be violent, right?
Yeah, very violent. I mean, they're the ones starting fights.
Annoying and violent. They're like
violent. They're like the Raiders fans of Major League Baseball. It's kind of weird. Yes. If the A's had fans, then you could say that, but they don't have any.
The worst thing about it. So I made a comment on that stadium review. I was like, look, I'm not trying to knock the stadium, but a lot of fights go down, and all these Dodger fans try to jump down my throat. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, dude, I don't see Royals fans getting into fight. I don't see footage of Royals fans fighting.
No, you don't. It's
like, I don't see that shit.
No,
I see a bunch of people getting drunk out in Chavez Ravine, and then knowing that they have a 2-hour drive to wherever they have to go next. And they're like, okay, let's just fight this drunkenness off instead of leaving.
Yeah.
Like they're vile. Yeah, they're vile,
so
and
they're the most violent fan base in all of baseball.
Like, it's weird too because like in Philly, I would wear a Met. Like I was a kid, I would wear my Mets gear there to Philly in the vet. No one ever talked shit to me. You know, they might have talked shit to my dad, or he just ignored it. But like, I would be afraid to wear opposing gear in LA. Like, I mean, like they're gonna talk shit.
Yeah.
Try to get in your face.
They travel so well too, and it's a sea of blue and the most annoying. They're more proud to be wearing the stuff. They don't know shit about what's going on with the team though. Most of them, they really don't.
It's a city pride thing.
Yeah, and they show up late. That's a bad fan.
They do.
Show up late.
No, to be fair though, LA traffic.
Yeah, that's true. They got off work at 5 and they can't get there until 7. It's fine,
true.
But, like, yeah.
They mentioned that about their playoff like things like, oh, the fans aren't going to make it there. Well, it's at 3 p.m. their time during a weekday.
Right.
What did you expect?
Yeah. And it's like all their money's from TV anyway, so let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So random guy, if the Philly Stars win, this is a USFL tweet or super chat. Case Cookus will be the first Broncos and Giants QB to win a championship since the Manning Bros. Ooh. Also, Tree or 5, can you tell me about Dan Blyesma because he's the first head coach for the CV Firebirds? Get used to
dude. All you gotta say is
rigid, unflexible level of hockey that will frustrate every fan that watches.
He is a stubborn, arrogant coach who only became what he was because he won a cup because he was not Michel Therrien. He used his system, he used his players, he even used his his mannerisms. He just wasn't as aggressive, and that led him to a cup, and he's been coasting on that ever since.
Who do you think, Jeremy, is like the worst manager to win a World Series? Besides
Dave
Joe
Roberts.
Madden. Dave Roberts.
Without a question, Dave Roberts.
I would say both.
Yeah, I would say Joe Madden. Like the Cubs only won that World Series because they spent what, $200 million on it.
Madden nearly cost him that by throwing Chapman in like the 7th.
Bro, Dave Roberts threw together the biggest piles of shit and called him a lineup. And somehow, luxury taxed his way into a World Series after failing, honestly, the more you look at it, call it a Mickey Mouse, whatever, at least they get to go to Disneyland. But Dave Roberts he's like Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
That'd be like Jason Garrett winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Just getting with a shortened season.
Yes, exactly.
They didn't win. It's still kind of Mickey Mouse.
Not enough time to choke.
Yeah. They were in mid-season form in the World Series. All right, D-backs fans, I have to say they're a little bandwagon.
Yeah,
I was a little.
You think they even make it to bandwagon, bro?
Like with how bad they were last year, I don't think I'd even want a bandwagon.
You think they're worse? Do you think they're the worst fans? Like, because when I went out to the game at Chase Field, like there was only like 1,000 people there.
Dude,
I was like, damn.
They don't have any. This is the 5th largest city in the country, bro. And they can't get any fans.
Well, it's also the same thing with the Coyotes. A lot of transplants.
Yeah.
They don't have the loyalty.
They basically have to be in the playoffs for people to show up. That's it. So, it's
they bad fans for different reasons, or they'd
rather do something else. Honestly, that's kind of how the vibe is here with the D-backs. That's how it is, dude.
Everyone's
it's
saying
bad.
sad, but
to be sad, that means you have to have it. Like you have to have fans. They don't have any for a city this
big. Or
the
Diamondbacks, were they the teams with the girls like sitting on their phone just texting throughout the game?
Dude, it's the worst.
That's what I thought it was.
I can't even. Sad would be a compliment to D-backs fans because they don't have any. They legit do not have any.
The worst,
bro.
They're not the worst.
Okay. I have to tell you this straight up. Like when it comes to the D-backs. My brother, he's their farm director. I get a very inside scoop, been there a lot. And they're so bad in every single way, from the team, from the fans, from the front office. They're probably as bad as it gets. So if you want to be generous, you could say sad.
And the D-backs have really been visionless for the past 5 years. So
Dave Stewart fucked them.
Okay.
Stewart fucked them, and Hazen hasn't been much better.
I think they're more on the pathetic side.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They're pathetic.
Let's call them pathetic.
Pathetic,
instead of sad.
They're not afraid to wear the gear, but they're just like, yeah, they're our team.
Right, but that's kind of how Phoenix is, though, right? Everything.
Not with the Suns. Not with the Suns.
That's true. Because the Suns are good now. They were bad.
But even when they were bad, they were calling for the owner's head. You can't say that for the D-backs.
Yeah, that's true.
Real talk.
Sarver's a piece of shit. Fuck
dude, they got a bad team to renovate an arena. That doesn't really happen. Like the Kings had to wait a long time. Things
love the Suns.
Yeah, they love the Suns. They were the first team. They were the really first team to actually try out here.
Yeah. Besides, the D-backs won a World Series, though.
They did.
So annoying. Okay, Mets fans, we're annoying.
You are delusional. You are delusional every year.
Delusional
So
more
delusional.
than annoying. You will take and be like, oh my god, we just won 2 games in a row. Like,
dude, all you have to do is show endless clips of Giraffe Neck Mark every single year. And you have the Mets fans.
Mark picks the Mets to win the World Series every fucking year. And I'm just like, Mark, you're my friend. Stop this. Stop doing this. And that's his identity. He's like, I'm picking the Mets. I'm picking the Mets. Like, Mark.
Hey,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Guns,
I'm
bro.
picking the Mets. I don't want to do this every year.
Oh,
but no,
delusional.
We're delusional. Yeah,
delusional,
totally.
Man.
We're
Delusional.
annoying, but we're also delusional. We're terrible. I thought you guys would say like Frank the Tank, like he being a Mets fan just is annoying as fuck. Like we're annoying, but
he can be delusional too, like delusional on the other side.
Delusional is fair. I'll take delusional.
For how big that market is, they don't like Nets fans don't really travel that well, dude. For how big that market is.
Yeah.
No, they have like a road troop that travels.
I
have
but
seen
it's also a New York team
down the East Coast. Down the East Coast, they will fucking invade. Like
absolutely,
you go to the Nats game,
like they invaded at the last Pittsburgh game I was at with them. That's
right. You go
absolutely
to Pittsburgh. I would say a lot. They're regionally invasive. I don't know if you see them in LA.
Exactly. That's
you'll
the thing.
see Red Sox fans.
Yeah. Same with the Yankees. Like you'll see them everywhere. You'll see them everywhere.
That's because they're just everywhere.
They are
fucking Alaska and some fucking asshole is a Yankees fan. You're just fuck you, man. Like, I gotta sit through this shit. Seven line can take over, but yeah,
that's what
they'll travel. They'll travel. Sox fans, what are they?
They are like oddly cynical yet loyal at the same time from the time I was there. So
you want to say like average?
Yeah, I would say average. I mean, like
they're average
kind of
fans,
snarky.
Man. They're average fans. Their dads are Sox fans. Their grandparents are Sox fans. Their kids are Sox fans. Like they're average.
It's a punishment that Southside bestows upon their kids.
They'll show up to watch a team get their butt whooped.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not, they'll watch them implode. Even if they're 20 games out.
Ballpark.
They'll
them.
Accept
they'll
Tony
just
La
update
Russa.
it. They'll just update the ballpark.
Put some
like their ballpark is depressing. Like their organ is the saddest sounding organ I have ever heard in my life.
Really?
It's like a cat died in it.
Don't they have cool areas of the ballpark to go to though?
It's like
you can polish a turd.
Yeah.
that's like with the flying squirrels. Like, damn, it's worse.
But they do update it. At least they'll go spend their millions every 5 years. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Megadoo says Mark equals Scooter. Both are great guys, but delusional. Yes. Yeah, Scooter is delusional. All right. I want to make a case for the Twins fans being the best fans before we get into this because they have no other choice than to go outdoors in the spring and go watch their team, and they still show up in the cold fucking Minnesota weather to go watch their team. And like they're like Cardinals fans, but not annoying, not
right,
not obnoxious. They love their team. They don't talk a lot of shit. I feel like
that's Minnesota in general,
in the top of the area, either good, maybe not best, but I would say they're good fans.
They're good fans. They just don't have enough of a presence. I think that's their issue. They don't have enough of a national presence. But when they do show up and at home, dude, it's always rocking too.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Tree?
I would say like average to good.
Average to good. All right, let's just put them in good.
I think the weather thing that you brought up knocks them up to good. Honestly, who else could say that? Rockies fans can't.
Right. Yeah, they don't show
You
up.
know?
I mean, they show up for a beer, but they have craft beer breweries everywhere in Denver.
And they're also standing like 500 feet behind right field in that way up there getting hammered.
I mean, Target Field's a nice looking field.
Oh, I'm talking about Coors with the Rockies.
Oh, Coors. Oh,
you
yeah,
know, that
Coors.
that mile high zone up that they did. Yeah, that's the big draw, not the team. At least Twins fans, they root for their team.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
All right, this one's a tough one.
Not for me.
Oh, all right. Give me your opinion here.
Dude, they're top tier. They'll show up no matter what. Cubs fans.
I don't know, man.
Doesn't
I mean,
matter.
they're
Win, lose, or
annoying,
draw.
dude. When they were good, they were obnoxious.
They earned that,
Yeah.
bro. If
No,
anybody
they really
fucking
did.
earned that,
Try
if
being
anybody
a
fucking
rival in
earned
their
that-
division. It was bad, dude. They were cancerous.
If
It was
anybody
so
earned that for
bad.
at least a few years, it's Cubs fans. If anybody earned that, bro, they showed up, win, lose, or draw for how many decades and decades, and they invade every ballpark they go to. They do, dude. They are a C, and they're actually good people. Most Cubs fans are great people. They know that most of the time their team is terrible. They like Cubs fans are top tier.
But I think that you're like pre-2016ing them. Like
I'm not though. They still show up.
That's true.
They still show up now. Even though they had a fire sale, they still
fucking-
show up. I mean, I'm not even pre-2016ing them. I'm even talking about, dude, they were miserable 80s, like 90s. Like they weren't good. They weren't good. I mean, even
they were bad.
Yeah, they weren't good at all, but they still have always shown up.
They did fuck with Steve Bartman though over that shit. They were like, get him the fuck out of here.
Alex Gonzalez, man.
Because they love their team. I don't know if we can put them in best. I would not think
If the Cubs can't go into the best, then I don't know who can. They are an absolute flood of.
I think Cardinals fans could have an argument with you about.
I told you that they should go in best. That was the first thing I said. Cardinals fans are top tier. That was the first thing I said. 100%.
Yeah, he's not
100%. Cubs and
How
Cardinals.
about Cardinals and Cubs fans in a pit, and last man standing wins.
All right, we'll put these two. Like
I think they got to be together. They go together.
Yeah, they
it's a sea
are.
of blue and a sea of red wherever they play.
Fair.
Even if they suck.
If we're gonna put the Cardinals in best, we got to put the Cubs fans in best.
Dude, when it comes to that market,
because
that market with those fans, it shouldn't add up just like Green Bay, but it does.
Yeah. Baseball lives in those two cities. Like
if legacy
if baseball
teams.
were to contract down to two teams, it would be those. Like if
Yep.
those were the only two that could survive, and if Thanos got his wish and killed
at least the National
everyone.
League, that would be
Right.
it. They would be the last two standing from the NL.
Yes, and then on the other side, it would be
Obviously
the Yankees and the Red Sox. Of
Yep.
course.
Oh yeah.
All right, Nats fans to me are just average.
I'd say average. They're decent fans.
They won a World Series. You know, I grew
They
up
want
with
to
all
win.
them, so yeah,
They want to
They're-
win, and they're coming for their owners' heads. Like
Well,
their owners' heads.
they're in a hard
they're gonna
reset.
sell.
I mean,
Yep.
if they
They
lose
are.
Juan Soto, there will be rioting in the streets. Like
Right.
they will be pissed.
Deservedly so.
yeah.
But they don't
I mean,
understand that that's how it works. Even
to
Boston
this
did it.
day, right?
Yeah,
well,
with Mookie
Boston
Betts.
let Mookie Betts go.
They might let Xander Bogaerts go.
I mean, how many All-Stars have they freaking traded away? They always do it. You know, after a team wins, they can't afford to pay everybody. They got to ship them off.
Is Kike gonna stay there? Like,
Kike?
I mean,
I don't see him. I mean, it depends on how they do. If they're in it, they can afford to keep them, right?
Yeah.
They can afford to keep a lot of those guys. Like, obviously, they're going to be in a bad
unlimited
spot if
resources.
they have a good record. Like, they would be better off if they start losing. Honestly,
Yeah,
They've been really
business
good in
standpoint.
June. There's
Exactly.
no point.
Yeah.
they could win short term, and that would harm them long term.
Yep.
They might get in as a wild card.
You know,
Like,
and that's not
I think
necessarily
they
a
have a
bad
good chance
thing.
of making it as like a wild card team.
Absolutely, they very
I'd
well
love
could.
to see the Blue Jays. I'd love to see the Blue Jays in the playoffs.
I think they make it.
They got a
possible.
big window. I think the Blue Jays have they got like one of the biggest windows out of any team right now.
Yeah.
If it ain't this year, it could be the next year or 2 years from now. They're in a decent
I
spot.
gotta see Vladdy play when the pressure's on. Like, I want to see him in big moments. Like,
for sure.
So fun to watch him. He's so explosive.
So explosive, dude.
Like,
Absolutely.
his swing is just, and the sound that his bat makes.
It's different. He's one of them guys that is different.
Yeah. You're like, okay, how can you swing such a heavy bat and still like make it look
right?
Jared Brussell, my grandfather watched Cubs games every single game for over 80 years and never got to see them win a World Series. That is dedication.
Mm-hmm.
That is,
I think that's what makes Cubs
every
fans the
day
best.
for 80 years and still never got to see him.
Yeah.
Got to see him from above. All right, Reds fans.
Oh, man.
Sad.
It's
sad. That's just sad. Dude, they just squander Hall of Fame talent. That's what they do.
And they were a team that could have used like pieces to add, and they just choose to sell it off because their owner's cheap. And then their ownership goes off and says, well, where are you going to go? I don't know. You don't say that shit. Even Bob Nutting wouldn't say that. Come on.
Right.
Man.
They don't know what they're doing, man. They have no direction. That's the problem with the Reds.
And they have a good farm system too, which is.
They just waste so many seasons, though, if you think about it. The Reds, like, they just waste so many seasons with mediocrity.
They wasted Votto's entire career.
They let Winker go.
Yep.
They let
they're going to trade Castillo.
Yeah. Yeah. They just guys have good years there with crappy teams. That's kind of how it goes sometimes there with the Reds. You know, they've done they've had years here and there where they've done all right, but it hasn't been consistent in a long time.
They let Amir Garrett go.
Well, Amir had a bad year last year, and he's not
but like, he's actually not doing very well.
That's what I mean. He's not doing that well.
And if their team, they had no reason to keep anybody that's making like any kind of money if they have no outlook of improving.
All you need to know is that Ken Griffey Jr. is their 6th highest payroll. That's all you need to know.
Oh, that's great.
Dude, good work if you can get it.
Dude,
oh my gosh.
Funny.
My favorite Reds moment, though, is when Amir Garrett tried to fight an entire dugout.
I love it. He was about that life, bro.
He was going to do it, and then Chris Archer just pretty much just lied on the ground dead the whole time. He's like,
what was he doing, man? Dude, Archer, what are you doing, man? That ain't what you about, my dude.
That was pretty much his entire tenure in Pittsburgh in just one clip.
Bad.
That was Archer.
Oh, tough.
Yeah, he's a twin.
I hated that trade from the moment it started. That was made. I hated that trade.
He's been passed around a little bit.
Yeah, he's actually done okay with the Twins this year, I think.
Dude, he's thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah,
a lot of pitches over the years, man. You only got so many. I know he's he's early 30s, but man, he's been pitching for a long time.
I never really thought about it like that. Like,
bro,
your arm is like a camera. Like, you can only shoot it so many times before the shutter eventually wears out.
I mean, you can change your photography style a little bit. Look at Kershaw, right? Like, you could change it,
but
or you get a new lens like Verlander,
like a car, man. Eventually, the engine's gonna go. Eventually.
Yeah.
Will Bronlick, I'm an avid Yankees fan. I can test a lot of our fans are annoying.
Absolutely.
Nick Shannon in this year's AV teams, one of the greatest teams of all time. Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
That's a recency bias.
That's tough. I mean, they're an excellent team, not greatest of all time.
What's the greatest team of all? One of those Gretzky teams, right?
Well, it has to be the Oilers teams, the Red Wings of the late 90s, the Isles of the early 80s, the Canadiens of the 70s.
94 Rangers.
That was just a fusion of the early 90s Blackhawks and Oilers.
Yeah, they did not dominate on the way. Those Red Wings teams, like, they swept everybody. Like, they just, I think domination in the playoffs is just a good sign that you're a great team. Because people came with their best and you still shut them down. Shut them down. All right, we got to rank the Yankees and then we can get out. Appreciate you staying the whole time too.
Dude, thanks for having me, fellas. This is so much fun.
I know. So much fun. I'm just like, it's like I
love this
my whole life.
The fans are the best part about it. So it's kind of cool to go through each team and organization, and I can kind of think back to experiences with them.
Yeah. You see it from like a up close and personal. We see it from.
I'm looking up at them. I'm looking up at them and hearing all the shit they're yelling at me.
How often do you hear when you're playing? Like, did you ever hear shit and you'd be like, that was funny or like?
Oh, all the time. They would yell shit at me for like 3 hours straight because I played, corner outfield, right field.
Right,
so
right.
They're just boom, 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 and especially like early on in my career, that's when people started getting smartphones. And so then immediately they could just see your name and get everything about you,
Right.
And so it was rare when there was a good one. But if it was a good one, I would do this. I would take my glove and I would just do like I always keep my glove by me. I would do like behind my back, do like a little clap,
Oh, yeah. Like a good one.
Yeah,
good one.
just like
you're
that.
You're ready to go right now, aren't you? Like you're ready
Dude,
to
I always
right
got
now.
it. I got my pitching glove too, man. I always got to keep it ready.
I keep a bat. Always have a bat ready to go.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying. It's just,
got to, bro. You got to keep it by. It's that mindset.
That's what I'm saying. The game has never left me. I might have been terrible, but I still love the game.
Still better than me, dude.
Hey, to an extent, same. Let's be real.
Yeah, dude, I'll be walking. I'll be like, all right, let me work on my stride, and I'll just. My coach is like, you got to open when you swing, and I'm like, okay, and like I'm 45, I should just completely give up, but why not? Why not continue? Why not? If I get a hit next year in Bros versus Pros, I might cry on the field.
Yeah, let's go.
I might cry. All right, Yankees fans are fucking annoying. We know that
go right next to
very
them.
annoying.
Are annoying as fuck.
Yep. They can lose like one game and they want Cashman in there and Boone Park.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
The one thing is you can't call them bandwagon. They sell the place out every year.
When they inevitably choke in the playoffs again, they're going to want Cashman in Boone Park.
The problem with Yankees fans, man, is that everything is just at breakneck speed with them. It could be fine or it could be, this, and then all of a sudden, it's always at breakneck New York lightning speed. And it usually is for the worse.
The thing about them is there's so many Yankees fans that there's always a huge group of whoever is feeling that emotion at any time. So if they're mad at the team, if it's only 10% that's mad, but that's 2 million mad people. So it it amplifies it. If they're happy, then all of them are happy. And it's just like, oh God, shut the fuck up. But when they lose or in the playoffs, that's when they're the most annoying as fuck because they want to fire everyone. They want to fire the manager. They want Cashman's ass out. They want Gallo is getting so much shit right now.
Yeah.
Like he is just getting cooked and they're in first place, right? Yeah. Like how good, like, okay, he's struggling, right? Like but you knew who he was.
Yeah, well, I mean, they thought he was the piece that was going to fix him, even though he's redundant for their lineup.
He's not a guy that hits for average.
Yeah, like he's just like he's Giancarlo, but lefty.
Dude, he's as delivered, he is. He's as advertised. I don't know what people. It's just expectations are always abnormally high there. That people are going to play better than they usually have. When they get there.
And on the flip side, Judge is playing out of his fucking mind, and
they're not going to pay him.
And I'm sure, I know. I think they'll pay him, but like they can't take their focus off of Gallo to put it on Judge, who's having a great fucking year. Like, dude, it's not like Cardinals fans would not do that.
Look at their pitching staff, man. Nestor Cortez, Clay Holmes, Jameson Tyone. Like
instead of spotlighting the positives, they'd rather focus on the negatives as in general as a fan base. It is, dude. Somebody could have a great game and they'll spotlight the guy that has a hat trick, even though they won. That'll be the headline.
Yeah,
it's like, you really think this is gonna make people want to play better here? Yeah, that they're just gonna get castrated if they have one bad game.
I tell you,
that's kind of New York for you.
New York, though, I'm sure your dad can attest. If you're doing well in New York, like they love you everywhere. Like you can't go anywhere without feeling the love, right?
Yeah, it's just what have you done for me lately, though? That's the thing there. Unless you've won World Series, like multiple World Series, there, it's only what have you done for me lately. So it's good and it's bad. It has like the best potential, and it also could be very ugly. Like you could either get cheered or jeered walking down the street.
Yeah, but even someone who's as big a piece of shit as Lenny Dykstra will still gets love if he rolls up in New York. I'm sorry.
Facts.
He
that goes into the quantity again too.
Right.
For sure. You're right though. You can't you're right.
No one's gonna hate on him, right? No one's gonna be like, oh fuck Lenny Dykstra. He's like, oh, you hit that home run back in '86. Fuck
right.
I heard you defrauded a bunch of investors, but I don't care.
You know, it's like Ryan Sandberg. Like, I bet he could go walk down Chicago and nobody. I doubt anybody would recognize him. Honestly, what do you think? I feel like that'd be iffy, huh? Like, that'd be a good bet. Yeah, dude. I don't know anymore. What do you think?
Rhino won an MVP though, right?
He did, but it was like a long time ago. He was incredible, Hall of Famer. But do you think he could walk down Chicago, walk down Madison Avenue?
So. I think so.
You think so? I think there's a chance, but I don't think it's guaranteed like somebody in New York.
Oh, yeah.
You know, New York's just different like that, man. New York's just different. You don't even have to have a great career. You just have to have a good tenure while you play for one of those teams, and they'll love you forever.
Yeah. Yeah. But they'll be like, yeah, but you never won it. You never won it.
True. They'll remind you. They
didn't win a ring. Yeah, you were great. You were great.
But
back in the 80s.
Right?
I followed you. But you never won a ring, huh? What's up with that? Huh?
What's up with that?
Out during the playoffs.
Bro, and they're all like they echo each other too. That's a big thing about Yankees fans is Yankee fans just echo each other. Like,
that's true.
Dude, they can get so mad as they amplify as a group. They can get so mad all of a sudden.
All you have to remember are those Yankees fans at that Astros Cardinals spring training game. They were obnoxious.
Oh my God.
They were going off about the third base coach for the Astros.
Really?
Right.
Yes.
We went to spring training in 2020, fresh off of the Astros scandal had just broke.
Ooh.
And the fans there were brutal. Like it was a spring training game that was sold out because it was the Astros, and Yankees fans showed up. They weren't even playing. Who were the Astros playing that day?
They were playing the Cardinals.
Giants.
It was at the
Cardinals.
Port St. Lucie.
ESPN. That's right. ESPN came to the game to cover it because it was like the first spring training game since, and people were just talking shit, and like none of the people were yelling at the players. I think there was one player that people were talking shit to. He wasn't even on the team during the fucking.
Come on.
Yeah, I remember. It's like
wearing the jersey. That's all that matters, bro.
Yeah, it was the third base coach. I want to look.
Yeah, that's right. Quick. He wasn't even the
Gary Pettis.
Bregman.
That's who it was.
Oh my God.
Third base coach.
Pettis is
crazy.
Astros legend. Like, then they were treating him like shit. But Bregman was hearing a lot of shit, which he deserves.
Dude, when people do that, getting heckled might be one of the most fun things ever, bro.
I would love it, honestly.
It's
me,
incredible,
like, if
bro.
I made it to that level to get heckled, it's like I'm living in your head, rent free, buddy.
It's great, bro. People pay money to go heckle somebody, like legit. Thank you.
right. You paid to do this? Awesome.
Actually, I think that's most people. I wouldn't say most, but a lot of people. That is their reason to go check out a ball game in person. You know,
to go heckle someone.
Yeah, for sure. Make them feel better about their day, which is whatever.
It's more ingrained, I think, in baseball than say football, because like the players, they can't hear shit out there. Maybe on the bench.
Yeah, baseball has so much like dead time that's quiet that you can definitely get some barbs in from the stands. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Irvin Alvarado, do best to worst rank of NASCAR fan bases with Darian at some point in the summer and stream. Stands back and watch. Ranking different fan bases is fun. Yes, it is. I don't know how we would do NASCAR. Do you follow NASCAR at all?
I don't.
You should go to a race and you'll be like, wow, this is much cooler than I thought.
Okay. I'll have to go check it out at Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah, it's like that. But cool. Like you got to go as like someone who goes down to the pit. And that's
what makes it worth it then, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's not worth it unless you do that.
YouTubers, they invited me and Tree down to Daytona, and we got to watch it from the pit.
Ooh.
It's different down there. It's just different. It's
oh, that's sick.
It's way different than the stands. Yeah.
I gotta check it out sometime.
Sager, Yankees fans are the worst. Only reason their stadium is full because of the corporate suits. No passion during the game until the big hit. Okay. Fair enough. Amazing Hook 143. As a Yankees fan, fair. I enjoy the stadium experience and the fans have fun. Haven't been there for a loss though in the last 9 games I went to. I think though, okay, like Francis is saying it's very corporate, but if you go out in the bleachers, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Different world. You go out in center field, right field, like there's people whose families are out there.
Yeah, you got to pick your experience.
Yeah, they're in the game. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. It's like going to a concert. You can be in the mosh pit or you can be like in a box or something, you know? It's just what do you want your experience to be? It's going to be different.
Are you a mosh pit kind of guy? Jeremy? Are you gonna throw those down?
I'm gonna get really baked and go see Revolution kind of guy. That's what kind of guy I am.
I'm gonna go sit out in the nice weather and just enjoy the music. You're a feel the music kind of guy, is what you're saying.
I like nighttime. Nighttime. I
Yeah.
want to feel the music. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I want the experience.
It's definitely more fun to get high at a concert.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even know you could not do that.
we took our kids to a Logic concert.
Ooh, how was that?
So
dude, what's his crowds like? I'd love to know that.
Fun, actually.
Yeah, I bet he draws
really
all kinds of different
people. He's a showman, so he does a really good job. You know, some people meme Logic and they pan him a little bit, but no, he put on a show. And then at one point, you know, it was one of his more smoky songs. Yeah. And all the joints came out, and I'm here with my wife, and some kid taps me on the wrist, and he's like, "Yo," and he hands me the joint. And I was
yeah.
But it's like my wife, my kids were like, one was 12.
Oh, the kids are with 14. You. Oh, yeah. Okay.
One was 12 and one was 14. He's like, I looked at him. I was like, another time, bro.
Another time. Yeah, that's fair.
Crucial.
That's fair.
You're crucial.
That's fair. Daddy, don't get into it until little man's down.
Yeah, and the wife, you know.
Exactly. Too funny.
So you act too stupid, and I'm like, All right, Jennifer Lomler. This is gonna be the last one, and we got to wrap it up. Like Yachty likes it when the Reds boot him. Yeah, I'm sure. Yachty here, Molina, he leaned into it. A lot of players
got to feed into it, man. You have to, dude. You have to. It's entertainment first and foremost. It's people got to understand that it is literally the entertainment industry. If you want to make you a villain, make him a villain, dude.
Oh yeah,
none of it happens if people aren't watching.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure,
dude. It's ball players, athletes are entertainers first and foremost. That's it. Their skill is being good at the sport.
Do you think though, like when they're scouting guys, it might be a little different now with Moneyball, but don't they look at their marketability? Like, all right, this guy might have a messed up swing or but he hits tanks. Like, you know, like do you think the scouts look at it from an entertainment standpoint? Like, is this guy going to sell tickets, or is this guy going to win us games?
It definitely depends on what organization though, because some organizations just have higher standards. I mean, like Cardinals, just because you're held to a higher regard. Yankees or Boston, like, can this guy cut it in this market too? Because you can be great playing in front of a few people, but playing in this huge market, will this guy be able to cut it? And like a lot of it kind of depends on that too. Most teams like Tigers, they don't care. Tigers don't care, you know, like, but in terms of like, even like, look at Tebow signing with the Mets, dude. They just you know, I'm an indie ball just destroying it, and then freaking Tebow signs for more than I got signed for.
He gets slotted right into Double A.
Yeah, dude. And they said it was a baseball move. Okay.
So I saw him at spring training.
Yeah.
The dude was huge. He must have
yoked out of his mind, dude.
He must have been hitting the weights or something. Like,
dude, he didn't have to be mobile anymore.
Scooter said he saw him. And he was like, "How are you saying that Tebow's not that big, or that he's so big, dude?" When he got in his stance, and his like quads,
his quads were just rippling, dude.
Yes, I thought it was Kyle Farnsworth or some shit. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah, bro.
And
all marketability.
Yeah. His swing was so long.
I thought he was going to make the Mets roster at one point because
they should have done it.
I thought they would have if he wouldn't gotten injured that one year.
Yeah,
he could actually hit. Like, his swing was ugly, and he was trying to make up for a lot of lost time. But like, if he came to Bros versus Pros, he could probably do pretty good. Yeah. You know, let's invite him.
You'd pack.
All right, we got to wrap up. Tree, do you have anything? Do you have any video?
Well, I'm working on a retrospective of the 2021 Montreal Canadiens, but otherwise, that's about it.
All right.
Ooh, nice.
Jeremy, do you want to plug anything? Of course, I think we put your link in the chat. Let's do it one more time. Man.
I'll be live actually tomorrow morning on Twitch. You can just go to flankthomas.com. You know, I'll be live there 11 a.m. Central. So I appreciate that. We just like to vibe out, play some event and some ranked games, dude, and try to hit some bombs. But I usually end up giving up more than we hit, but it's all for fun anyways.
Dude, the show is hard, man. I've downloaded it. I put it on. Like, it is not an easy game. That's a young man's game for sure.
Yeah,
like
even a young man's game. Every
it's-
MLB The Show game, like I played with other people, it's like a 1-0 game with like 25 strikeouts combined.
Dude, I was like, what
Maybe
is this
more.
pinpoint pitching? Like, I couldn't even play in the first. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm good at video games.
It's got a high ceiling, bro.
It's
does.
a big learning curve, and I was like, I'm
For
not
sure.
good at this game. I love baseball, but I don't know if I can figure this out. So
I just want to be good enough to be competitive, and that's what makes it fun. I don't care if we win, just be competitive.
Right. Some people are really good at the game, man. Like,
They're incredible. There's some goons.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some goons out there. All right. Everyone,
Thanks for
check
having me.
out Flank Thomas. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for all the mods. Handle it. Getting rid of the porn bots. You know, I mean, they're welcome, but you know, not here. But oh, there's someone trying to sneak in a super chat here. Golden Hybrid says Trevino was a robbery for the best team in the MLB. Mhm.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll
Take
see you
care,
next
fellas.
week. We're out.
Thanks for having me.